How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. With me, we've got Sean Fitz. All right, he's been in a whole bunch of bands, but currently you might know him from Otherwise and his solo stuff. Sean Fitz. Sean,
What's
how's it going,
what's
man?
pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. Yeah, so because your solo stuff, you've gone by a couple different. You went Sean Fitz now, and then you was just Fitz at one point, right?
Yeah, well, I did a little bit of, I guess, just like a little like rundown on me. I'm Sean Fitz. I grew up in like the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
I've played in a lot of different bands over the last 10, 15 years,
Hmm.
and yeah, I uh, I don't even know where to start.
Oh, I've got a whole bunch of questions ready for you. So you don't,
Absolutely. But yeah, I guess I did a little bit of music under just like the Fitz name for a while, and then
yeah,
kind of got back into playing in metalcore bands and stuff, and then we've kind of gone full circle where like kind of now I wanted to be able to release music under my own name on the side of whatever band I'm playing in. So
yeah. So with like, we'll talk a bit about like you because you got new music coming out and stuff, like beginning of next month. But before we really got like dive into that part, um, so you've been like currently you're in Otherwise. So with that, like, what separates your music from like your solo stuff from the other bands that you have been in?
I guess like a lot of the music that I'll sit down and write myself is a lot more emo, like pop punk, but on the lighter side of things. And the bands I've
Sure.
been in have been more heavier, more
Hmm.
like radio rock, more rock, I should
Yeah.
say. And I don't know, I just kind of would write all these different songs. A lot of them have like electronic elements to
Hmm.
them. It just they didn't really fit with a lot of the bands that I've been playing in, so I just wanted a place to kind of like post that art because otherwise it just sits on my laptop.
Yeah. I feel like so many musicians can really like relate to that, because when you're an artist, you just write stuff and not it's not always going to be the exact same. And you have to get it out there.
Absolutely.
It's like it's the worst if you can't.
Yeah, and I'm sure, Patrick, that like you like artists love to procrastinate on things. So
Oh yeah.
you gotta set yourself up with the outlets to be able to push that art to everybody. But
I've also been known to procrastinate from time to time, in all aspects of my life, but
absolutely.
it's but especially with releasing music and just sitting on music and stuff. That's tough. That gets tough. But you got a new single coming out on March 7th, as well as a new single for Otherwise coming out on March 8th. Let
Mhm.
us know about both those tracks.
Yeah, so my I guess I'll start with my single
Yeah.
since it's coming out first. Fake Relationships is a
Hmm.
song that I wrote over the last year. It's going to be the first song um, gearing up to release an EP,
Okay.
and the Fake Relationships is just the first in the batch of new tracks. So super excited to be able to finally release that for everybody to listen to. I know I've had a lot of people asking since I did the last batch of singles, like
Hmm.
when the new music is going to be coming out because I was kind of like really consistent at the beginning of last year, and then a lot like changed in my life. I had to pretty much rebuild my life a little bit in the last year. So this is kind of like a full circle. We're coming back. We're coming
Sure.
back strong. The songs are strong. So super excited about that. And then I guess for otherwise, we're releasing an old mix version of one of their songs off of uh, their first album.
Okay.
And yeah, it's an alternate version that the label didn't want them to put out at the time. super sick, awesome version of the song. So super excited about that, and that the guys are releasing new music as well.
That's
And we're both
exciting.
independent, so
Yeah, there you go. It's the way to do it now.
fully in.
Yeah, Gibby was actually just telling me yesterday that that first Otherwise album is his favorite. So he's gonna be pretty stoked
Yeah,
about this song then.
yeah, he'll be stoked on it.
So with your solo project though, back to that. So you were saying you released like singles, under that in 2024, and then, kind of life happened, and
Right.
are releasing. You have an EP you're working on. So are those songs from the like the first few singles on in 2024 going to be a part of that, or is this going to be something completely brand new?
Yeah, there are a lot of new songs on the EP, but yeah, the songs that I released last year will be included on it, as well as like some acoustic versions and stripped versions of the songs. Because I like
Nice.
when I wrote a lot of these songs, a lot of them were done on acoustic guitar, and then I went in and like produced the track around it. And some of the songs I kind of just liked how the first couple demos sounded, because like I'll do when I write a song, like for instance, I released Ammo last year with
Hmm.
Shane Gahn and Ryan Kinley, and that track started as just an acoustic song. And when I brought the guys in, like, hey, do you guys have some like elements you want to add to this song? It just became more produced, more produced, more produced. And when I was listening back on the demos, when I went to the studio at the end of last year, I was like, okay, um, I like some of this like raw element to it, so we're just gonna do another stripped version of this song and just include it on the record. So it's kind of like circling back to the original idea, and I can kind of put that out because I thought it was strong.
Sick. Well, that sounds fun. When are you thinking that the EP will be
I'm
released or so?
anticipating as of right now, mid to late April.
Okay.
I have a couple other things that are kind of in negotiation right now, so I just want to see kind of how it goes. But that's like the timeline on it right now is mid to late April.
Sure. Yeah, and that's always like a tricky thing. You can, when you have an EP or an album, just because it's done doesn't mean it's ready to be put out yet.
Yeah, it's been done. I mean, I've had these songs have been done. Like we've done little tweaks here and there, but like
Hmm.
even like fake relationships, like I wrote that just about a year ago now.
Sure.
So I wrote it at about the beginning of April last year, and it's just
Okay.
about to come out.
So
But you know,
what's fake relationships about?
fake relationships, it's just a kind of about, I wrote it about you meet people all the time and you have like this connection. Like what I wrote it about was like you go to like a bar or you go to like a restaurant or you go to something like that and you meet these people and you have this like connection with them, but there's not really anything past that. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like oh, you have like a really good time like interacting with someone, whether not necessarily if they're working, but just like I don't know, you just meet people and you have like this like connection with them right away, and then you guys spend the night or like the day talking, not like spend the night with them, but
You could, maybe, who knows?
you could, but wasn't really my point on it,
Sure,
but
sure.
the it's just kind of like you establish this connection with somebody, and then like there's a line in it that goes, the months are hotter, summer's coming fast. It's like the time just moves on with it, and then like that is kind of just left in the past.
Sure.
So that was just kind of like the concept for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, it's a relatable topic as well, everybody everybody has experienced that and experienced these relate type of relationships.
And then there's a little bit of deeper elements to it. Like I don't know, sometimes you stay with somebody a long time in a relationship and they don't think the same way about the relationship as you, and then it doesn't work out, you know?
Hmm.
So,
Which also happens a lot. It can, anyways, I suppose. Uh,
but
what's up?
and then I guess like circling it all back around with the whole concept of it. There's the bridge of the song is about the line goes, "I just want to fake it by myself." Is like you kind of own the fact that like yeah, it's a fake relationship, but I'm gonna just fake it by myself.
Nice. I like that.
So I don't know if you listen to the song, but
I did. I did. Yeah, I did listen to it. Because it was sent over in
yeah.
in a big folder
The
full of
folder.
stuffs. Folder
Yep.
full of stuffs. I did check it out though, yeah. A couple times.
Sweet. I
Uh,
appreciate.
Absolutely. If it was already streaming, I would have gave you even more streams. Get them cents in.
March 7th.
March 7th, we'll get them
So
streams in.
this is already up by March 7th, and it's out. Check it out on Spotify. Well, don't check it out on Spotify. Check it out on something else other than Spotify.
If you've
But it
got
will be.
Spotify though, at least go check it out. You know, like whatever you're listening to it on, or buy it on something. Do that if you can. Do you have any shows or like tours in line for 2025? What's that looking like for you?
There's some stuff in the works for otherwise. We'll be
Sure,
having some shows coming out pretty soon. Um, but yeah, just I'd like to get a couple acoustic dates and do some more like regional Southwest dates going over the
sure.
summer. So it's kind of the slow time of the year still because everywhere's so damn cold, as you know, up in
Oh
Bolivia.
man, it's great here today though. This next
It,
like the next week for us is supposed to be crazy good.
yeah, and it was just yeah.
It,
I know like living up there can be random for sure.
yeah, it was, well, I mean, last week, the last couple weeks have just been dreadfully cold, like -20, -30, in the negatives every day.
Yeah,
And then out of nowhere, it's 40 degrees right now.
that's
So
nice. That's nice. You take that over like -40, you
I
know.
know like I think like most of the snow is probably going to be gone by the end of the week. It's supposed to be in the 40s like for this whole week. It's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah, that is insane.
Because I mean, it's not even March yet, so we're very lucky right now.
Absolutely.
And I'll take it. I fucking hate snow. Get out of here.
Yeah, that was kind of like the biggest reason why I moved to Arizona. I really wanted to escape the cold. After moving from Chicago to Minneapolis for a few years, I had just had it with the cold from one extreme to another. And
Yeah,
then now we're here where it gets
to a different
120.
extreme.
It gets 120 in August, but
Yeah,
hopefully I can travel and be able to tour during those summer months and it ends up working out. I mean, it's 80 degrees here today.
yeah,
With
that's awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
That's yeah. You know, one day maybe I'll get myself one of that what those rich people call summer homes, or you know, summer and winter.
Becoming a snowbird is
Yeah,
the Minnesota way.
yeah. Just the winter's coming. It's time to go.
Yep.
So you've even just kind of brought this up, but so you've been in bands all
Yes.
over the country, you know, within the trenches from Chicago, the Scars Heal in Time, friggin' Houston, Texas, Sleep Signals, Minnesota, now currently with Otherwise out of Las Vegas. So with that, for musicians out there, you know, that find it hard enough finding bands to be in their hometown,
Yeah.
how did you go about joining bands from all over the US?
Uh, I kind of just got on the train and then I never got off. You just couldn't get rid of me. I just kept like
Just
kept
kept
at it.
just kept
Had like
chugging along.
kept chugging along. Opportunities only present themselves if you put yourself in a position where you can receive an opportunity. And I don't know, like we started the first band and it was just like with my buddies from back home
Yeah.
and we did a little bit. Like we were playing a lot of like it was like definitely DIY. We would be playing a lot of like I guess like our most notable like venues we would play. There was the skate shop in like South Chicago,
Hmm.
and maybe you'd fit like 50 people in there comfortably, but we would be pulling in like Friday, Saturday night, like 130 people, and it'd just be like absurd, like slam shows, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just enough drive, and we were doing enough locally to be able to like make a record and like do a little tour on it. But it's just the guys just didn't want to go and do any more really than that, and I wanted to continue to play, so I took opportunities that led to more opportunities, and I don't know, almost 10 years doing it now.
Yeah. So were these like bands that you had like played with, or like how did you like?
Oh, when I guess so I was already playing. I was actually on tour with the only tour that we did with Within the Trenches,
Hmm.
and it was right after our EP came out. And we, I had got this Facebook message from uh, one of them in Scars, and they had needed like a guitarist for a tour, and they were just adding people on Facebook and messaging people that had guitars in their picture. And it's
That's
literally as random as it was. So I
that's
drove,
batshit crazy.
never met them or anything, agreed to do it.
Okay.
I'm like fresh 18, like I can actually make decisions. And I yeah, just drove 17 hours in one sitting and met him in Houston and went on tour with them for a month and a half. And I ended up doing a few tours with them, and one of the tours was with Sleep Signals.
Okay.
And then there was like another thing where like they needed a guitarist, and Robert reached out to me, and I ended up staying with them for quite a few years and
Mhm.
relocating up to Minneapolis. And with them, I was able to really like do a lot of awesome tours. Like we were able to tour with Atreyu and a tour with a
Mhm.
lot of bands that like that like really inspired me. So
Mhm.
it's like it all happened really quick. And then kind of COVID happened, and it was the first time from when I got on the train that like we got to its first stop, you know.
Yeah.
Everything stopped. We were all gun ho, ready to go, like this and that. We have like a massive like radio campaign as well as like Sirius XM spinning us, and like uh we had a headlining tour that was supposed to happen in 2020, and then like all that got canceled. We had another bigger tour that was planned for that year too, but
Hmm.
um yeah, it all kind of stopped, and I was just like, I don't know, we weren't like really getting along, so I bowed out of that project and ended up moving. So it's like nothing's keeping me in Minnesota now.
Sure.
And I don't know, I came out here and like kind of just did my own thing and kept writing throughout the whole thing. In 2020, I probably wrote like 200 songs, started writing for other bands and like whatever like what wasn't applicable to like the music and that I was kind of working on, like just kept doing something. And then somebody told me that Otherwise was looking for a bassist, and I tried out and I got it. So, and
That's
they're
awesome.
the first band I ever played bass for. I was
Okay.
playing I didn't even own a bass. I just went and borrowed someone's bass, did a audition video and got it, and then bought all of the gear I needed and went for it.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it's, you just gotta go for it.
I know.
Yeah, because when I was looking through like your UPK and stuff, about your history, like it definitely makes more sense now, after like it's like how the frick did you jump through all these places? Like I was like, okay, sleep signals, like the Chicago Minneapolis connection, I can make that connection. I get that. That's a hop, skip, and a
Oh, and
jump.
that's the other thing too, is like sleep signals. I traveled all around the country. I've been to 47 states.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't been to Vermont. That was like a goal to go to Vermont, but we had this bus driver at the time that just missed it somehow when we were up
Hmm.
there, and then I've never been back. It's like it's so far out there.
Dude,
So
I feel you. I feel you. I
so it's
have
just like it's like a running joke now with me and my buddies that I've never been to Vermont.
Is Vermont your only continental US state you've
Yeah.
missed? See, I have that too. But mine, like honestly, mine's a little worse. It's depressing. Mine is Maine.
Oh, so it's just
The
the
top fucking corner, man. Like
you have Vermont, but you don't have Maine.
I have Vermont, I have everything but Maine.
Hey, Maine's cool.
It
I
looks cool.
I went up there with Otherwise at the beginning of 2023, and we had an awesome show up in Maine. They do like to party
Yeah,
and good food.
good food, like super nice like scenery. Like I love especially like the upper East Coast. The northern East Coast is so sweet, so cool. Like Connecticut's just gorgeous.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
like it's beautiful country up there.
absolutely.
And one day before I die, I'm hoping to hit Maine.
But yeah,
Maybe
that was
maybe we'll have to make a Vermont
yeah,
Maine connection like trip. We'll just
yeah,
we'll go.
Vermont, Maine. We're hitting it.
We'll go. Just get in the car. We'll make it.
But that was kind of like the loop. Like I always like talked to people and interacted with people everywhere I went, and then like I don't know, I talked to the right people and found out about they were looking for somebody.
I love it. That's cool though. I mean, that's the thing is like if you're friendly with people, you make connections. I mean, that's how opportunities happen. A lot of people will be like, I just can't get anything, but they're also not making like that. It's hard if you're not like a super open person and like really out there talking to people. So that can be hard to make those connections, but if
Yeah.
you want to play this game, it's kind of part of the game.
It is definitely part of the game. I mean, I've not always been as comfortable as I am, especially like even
Hmm.
doing stuff like this has usually been harder for me to
Sure.
like sit on Zoom and talk to somebody that I've never talked to for 2 hours, you know?
Dude,
It's
hey,
like,
same every day. Every time it's the same thing for me. It's okay.
but you get better at doing stuff, and like that's like
Hmm.
what I always tell people is like you have to just keep doing it. Like you if you expect to be an overnight success, like yeah, the opportunities that I've got is like definitely from being an overnight success, 10 years takes 10 years to be overnight success.
Right.
Wow. So
Right.
keep at it, like keep busting your ass and you figure it out. Try
Right.
things.
Yeah. And and also like it's okay to be like afraid to do those things. It's okay. But just be open to trying them and doing them. Uh
Absolutely.
so now that you're, over in Phoenix working with Otherwise, you joined them back in March of 2023. Tell us a bit about like that band dynamic, let's lift back the Otherwise curtain a little bit.
That's awesome. I love working with Ryan and Adrian Patrick. The Patrick brothers are the core of that band.
Okay.
And I don't know, I don't know, I wasn't even really looking to be in a band, but it's just like if the band has like a certain it factor, then like I'm about it. They are just super good songwriters and they're super close with their family and have I don't know, they've always been good consistent with like their values and what they do and I don't know, the people love their records, so
It's what I hear. It's what I hear, you know?
And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it's definitely weird. I had a lot of friends growing up that listened to Otherwise, especially on those first two records, like we were kind of talking about the other guy likes. And
Yeah.
um, I don't know, it's cool. We're definitely different ages.
Sure.
Uh, Music kind of doesn't show your age, you know?
Right. So do you guys so they're because they're located in like in Las Vegas. So how does that how do you guys go about that? Because Phoenix is a bit of ways, right? It's
It's
I
like
mean,
3 hours. I
yeah.
just fly up there and
Just fly out there. Do you get for like do you do like rehearsals and stuff before like shows or
yeah, if we do a show, like we just had a show on New Year's with Buck Cherry in
yeah,
like Mesquite, Nevada at the Casablanca Casino. I'll shout them out. That was a fucking they hosted us. It was fucking awesome. And hopefully we'll be back there later this year. And yeah, we just flew up the day but I flew up like a day before and we hung out in Vegas for the evening and then we just went up and rehearsed beforehand for the show and
just
we're
went and
all like
killed it.
yeah, we're all pretty practiced at this point. That's like one thing I've always been good at with getting the gigs is like I don't need a lot of in-person rehearsal. I can really get dialed in before tours and can do a lot of it at home just using like
Mm-hmm.
our live track like click tracks and stuff like that. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
super on top of playing to those kind of things and that's always been good for filling in for random things.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talk about on the show like is the importance of practicing on your own, like with when it comes to like professional musicians and stuff like that, you're expected to be able to come to like rehearsal and stuff and know your shit, know how to play.
Yeah, and that's like something that did change from like I mean my first band like we would have like a weekly rehearsal or
Yeah,
something, but I mean I don't know. I sometimes like I know just now in my schedule like I really can't do that. I can't even commit to a weekly rehearsal in like a
right.
local band or anything like that.
It's
But
tough.
tough, yeah.
Like when you're that's like especially when you're getting older, like it's tough to find that extra time to you know do life, do all the things that you're trying to do, plus also have like rehearsals every week. And it's good if you can. That's amazing, that's awesome.
And
But
are you a musician, right?
I well, not so much anymore. I mostly just do this, but I was like a professional musician for a long time.
What did you play?
Guitar and bass.
Okay. So yeah, I have like a digital rig now
Yeah.
and uh it's like late night or something like that. Like I could just play for 30 minutes before I go to bed or something.
Hmm.
Like I can fit that into my schedule here and there and still like keep a couple hours on my playing a week. And then like before a tour, I can really just like dial in the set, play the set twice a day or something like that. But
Yeah.
mean, now it's like we're going out. If we play in 45-minute to an hour sets, it's like, shit, well, it takes me 2 hours to practice, and that's only going through it twice, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
it's like that eats in a lot of times. But you really need to do that like before you're gonna go do like a month out so that you're like first you don't want to be that band that's like, oh, fourth show in, we're finally getting dialed up and then
Yeah.
first three shows were kind of like, like I had a lot of that with in the past and I like to be rehearsed.
Yep. And at this point, that's kind of what's expected of everybody. When you're a professional musician, and people are like, especially once you get to a certain level where people are buying tickets and stuff to go see you, like you got to be ready and dialed in, because if you're like, you know, day two or something, like everybody gets like the day one thing. There's kinks. There's always going to be kinks with stuff. But if it comes to the performance that you're just not there, like that sucks for the people paying to see you.
Right. Absolutely.
Um, let's like jump back though a little bit because we've been talking about like the bands and what you're at now, but let's before now. So like we said, you've been doing this for like a decade now, right? Been in a bunch of bands, bunch of different indie, different genres, and even your solo projects. It's completely different than the bands you've been in. So what bands or artists like not only influenced you in your music, but made you want to be a musician in the first place?
Well, kind of like the thing that I tell everybody, like what really got me into playing like guitar especially is like the Guitar Hero games, like that stuff was all like the shit when I was like looking for
Oh yeah.
something to capture my attention. And so yeah, like that kind of music, and that's what got me into rock and that genre. So I just wasn't really around a lot of that growing up.
Sure.
And but yeah, just like some musicians that I liked. Was always like big fan of like the hair metal, so I liked Van Halen. Eddie
Nice.
Van Halen is a big influence for me, and like the Scorpions. Um, but I don't know. I really like other guitarists that I really like. I'm a big fan of John Mayer as a
Awesome.
and Prince. I listen to a lot of Prince. That's good shout out for Minnesota right there.
Dude. We got the Prince shout out and we got the purple background going on
That's
over
right.
here.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of like there's some that come to mind for sure. And then
What,
like I growing up in Chicago, like a lot of like blues artists and stuff like that were always around. So
yeah. What so you brought up Guitar Hero. So what's your favorite Guitar Hero game? Which one?
Guitar Hero 3,
The
absolutely.
World Tour?
Now
That
Legends of Rock,
is that the third one? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right.
the one with Slash and Tom Morello in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I have the first like four games, I think,
Yeah,
for the PlayStation 2.
I had that's what I had them on too, the PlayStation 2. I don't
Nice.
have them. I wish I had them right now. I would play a little bit of that here and
Oh,
there, but
you got to get it, man. It's
they're
good
in a
times.
they're in a box somewhere.
Oh, if you got them in there in a box, man, go get it. Gotta
Yeah,
find it.
it's in Chicago at my parents' house somewhere.
Oh man, like it's trip time. And then we'll go to Maine
Yep.
and Vermont.
Right.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, man, we went through all this. Pretty much everything I got for you for the first part, of course. So with that though, we got one more question before we go to a quick break.
Sure.
If you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your musical journey, what would that be?
Um, Save your money. Save your money. If there's anything that I could tell new artists to do, if you have people, especially in this industry, that want to like spend your money for you, maybe think twice on it and really put thought into it because your band and your projects are only so many financial decisions away from completely breaking up. And I've seen it with every band that I've been in. And I don't know, you don't necessarily need all the flash. You don't need all these like extra things on stage. Like focus on being a band.
Hmm.
And like the stuff will come, but like hold on to your money and you'll need it to play more shows and to get in front of more people. Um, Maybe like extra marketing and stuff like that. If you don't really think that it's a good idea, then it probably isn't a good idea.
It's fair.
Everybody that says that like, oh, we can make you and do this and that, can they really? Like it's changed, especially in the last handful of years, where like even a record label won't even put its time into you unless you already have that it factor.
Mm-hmm. The
And
time,
those kind of take you from one point and just boost you a little bit more from
right?
where before it was like from here to here, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Now they're just doing this little second half.
Mm-hmm.
And in my personal opinion, I just think it's because there's too many people getting paid along the way, and the artist is the one ultimately like losing out at the end of the day.
Right. I agree, especially like with um there's so many people out there looking to take advantage of you. Like
Absolutely.
in
You make
in
mistakes, you know?
oh yeah. But I mean, you're gonna have people claiming to be managers, to be like promoters, like social media promoters. You're gonna have
Yeah.
people messaging, texting. You're gonna have so many people at all levels. Even if you're just starting out, if you're just starting out, that's even be more cautious because that's
Absolutely.
when they're gonna jump at you the most.
Yeah.
Um, but it's you know taking that time and investing in yourself. Like, don't worry about somebody that says they can be your manager, but you know, they're gonna take your money and it's give you a percentage. It's you don't need that right out the gate.
Right.
You also don't need scrims on stage right out the gate and lights.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
get
And other
get
thing
good.
too, the vehicles do not like if you're not playing 30 shows on a tour and maybe don't buy like a whole vehicle and have to own it and maintain it, like, you know, I see
Hmm.
a lot of it might look like more upfront costs, but like you have to look at the long game on stuff like that. And like constantly flipping vehicles is not necessarily the most lucrative unless you're
Yeah,
uh,
like being in a band, it's an expensive game.
it is.
So,
Save your money, rent your vehicles,
be smart.
be smart. Don't let
Yeah.
people take money that aren't doing anything for you.
Yeah. Be careful. Like I said, be independent for as long as you can. It's you sometimes you got to learn how to do the work. Everybody does. Nobody just knows how to do it. Nobody just knows how to book shows or book a tour or, you know, record, produce, all of these things. Like do what you can. And then, obviously, I think when you're recording, you should get a producer if you can, and
Absolutely.
if you're at that level.
Yeah, getting a producer is definitely a way to take. I mean, even if you're like I'm a self-producer, like I do record 95% of what I do at my house.
Hmm.
And that second step of the polishing a track and stuff, I still leave that up to somebody else because you're too close to your art at that point and you need to have somebody else's ears on it.
Right.
And like I'll get a mix back and I'll be like, "Oh, well, this is like way different." But you listen to it for a couple of days and you kind of become more familiar with what they did, and
Hmm.
like it all ends up working out. You got to work with people you trust like that, you know,
Hmm.
elevate your art.
Yeah. I mean, even you like everyone's favorite artists, like go through producers, like I use this as an example a lot. It's one of my favorite examples, but like uh one of Aerosmith's like most of Aerosmith's biggest songs, they didn't fucking write or like didn't write all of it. It was they worked with the producer like I don't want to miss a thing. They didn't even write that song. They just played on it.
Right.
It's just because like it's okay to work with somebody else. And you know,
Absolutely. If they're bringing something to the table, like, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, if you're working with a producer that gives you a number one song, like, I don't want to miss a thing, then yeah, it's like having another member of the band.
mhm,
It's like you can give somebody a percentage like that.
yeah.
I guess another thing too is like, and I remember that this was definitely more. of a big deal when I first started was like people were like a lot of local bands and stuff were always trying to get like tons of features and like getting people in bigger bands on their tracks. And that's cool, but I've seen a lot of bands get features that don't really add like anything to the track that like is helping it, you
Hmm.
know. Definitely pick and choose when it comes to doing like your features, and
I
it'll be
agree.
way more effective.
I very, very much agree. There's like specific artists I won't name
Oh,
that I feel like are on every track. And I feel like by using this artist at this point, it's just, you know, screaming into the wind. It's like, cool, this artist is on your track, but what track isn't he on at this point?
yeah. Nah,
Yeah,
there's one in particular from the last couple years I can definitely think of, but I'm not gonna say
I'm sure we're thinking the same person.
it.
And but like yeah, doing like there's doing collaborations with other artists is awesome. But using it like, yeah, if you get somebody that like you really love and this was a big goal for you, a big dream, that's amazing. But using it as like, well, if I have this person on my track, this track is gonna be like way bigger. That's not necessarily the case. Like
Oh.
a lot of times I feel like finding like other like bands that you really like and you admire that maybe are just a little bit bigger than you, and then you can cross promote together because that's something that they'll do together.
Yeah, because I think too, if you just get like a big artist, like a big vocal feature or something like that, and it's just really like not the coolest feature, it's kind of
Hmm.
underwhelming to the people that were anticipating one thing,
Hmm.
and then they actually hear it, and it's kind of underwhelming. You don't want to bait people into your music like that.
Right. And like I said, I'm all about collaboration. We collaborate all the time with, artists and things like that. And I think that's the way to go about it, finding other mutuals that you can collaborate with,
Yeah,
that you can um, cross promote with each other. I think that's the way to go. But
abs-
that's also just me. What do I know?
yeah.
All right. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our next segment. Thank you again to Open Your Ears Records for partnering with us to help bring even more new artists to your attention. Open Your Ears Records is an amazing independent record label out of Richmond, Virginia, with a killer lineup of up-and-coming bands and artists. This week, we're stoked to tell you about Wild Truth's new track that they just released. It's a highly requested unplugged version of their song Drift. Wild Truth is an alternative band from Richmond, Virginia, and stay tuned because they got even more kick-ass music coming out this year. What you're hearing right now is a sample of the track, so if it's up your alley, go stream the hell out of it right now. It's streaming on all major streaming platforms. Thank you so much again to Open Your Ears Records for sponsoring today's episode. Today's episode is sponsored by Chattanooga Beard Company. Are you looking for a quality company to help sexify your beard? Turn it up to 11? Take it to a whole new level? I have tried lots of other products over the many years it's taken to grow these luscious face locks. And then I tried Chattanooga Beard Company, and I kid you not, it changed my beard's life. Their products are made from quality ingredients like sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, beeswax, lanolin, and shea butter. I have at home their shampoo and their conditioner, 2 different scented beard balms, 1838, which is wood, amber, and grapefruit, and churchwarden, which is pipe tobacco and wild cherries and freedom. I also have 2 of their beard oils, Clean Slate, which is bergamot and lime, and Iron Forged, which smells like coffee and chocolate, and you just want to eat it. My wife loves the smell of their Clean Slate oil. It's been a game changer.
You don't have to take my word for it, because who am I other than the lovely looking man with this lovely looking beard? Try it for yourself. Just go to www.chattanoogabeard.co and snag any of these products or one of their other many scents and styles. And as a bonus, if you use our code Unsigned Pop Punk at checkout, you're going to get 15% off your order. So if you love your beard or you love someone with a beard, try out Chattanooga Beard Company. You won't be mad you did.
And we're back. Thanks so much for sticking around. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, the food for thought segment,
Yeah.
because you want to be hungry. You're here to be hungry, and typically you leave this being a little hungry.
Mm, I love
So
me some food.
good, good. That's I mean we all do too, which is why we started this segment. I remember like it was like years ago now at this point. We were just it was just called the rant it was like I don't even remember what it was called. It was just like random questions. It was just a random question segment where we would just
Yeah.
ask like just fucking nonsensical questions.
It was just all food, so you had to make it a.
Well, yeah, half the time it just ended up mostly being about food, and we're like, fuck it, let's just go full out.
That's one of those things with touring. It's like I'll like be like, oh, I've never been here before, and then I show up to a venue, and it's like, oh, I have been here before, and then, or if I'm in a restaurant, I'm like, I've been to this restaurant before. Like, I have a lot of food memories that are like locked in from traveling around.
Right.
I
And
might
that
not
well,
remember anything else about it, but like, oh yeah, that food was good there.
well
Got it.
that's one of the things that we, was like this makes sense. It makes sense within the show as well because I mean, there's like one of the so when you're on tour, like you're in a fucking van, you eat food and
Yep.
you play shows. That's it. Like everyone wants to think that there's so much more like oh you get to see the sights like no it's flying by you in the van. That's it, those are your sights, and then
Yeah.
you eat food.
Yeah. You have very few side quests, but
Yeah,
those are the three things for
yeah,
sure.
and don't get me wrong, you do get side quests, every once in a while there you'll have a little time before a show, or you'll have a day off, which sometimes happens, but it's not a lot. you
Oh,
know it's not like it's not like your like famous bands where they just fly on in and just chill and have time to like do some stuff because even they don't just
nah, they
aren't
still don't
doing
have
it.
much time.
They're not doing a ton of shit, but like so, the van bands, the van touring bands, ain't a whole lot other than hanging out in the van
Oh.
and the venue. So to start out though, I always ask this since you were born and raised in Chicago, we have to ask.
Sir.
This is the most important question. And you may think I'm going to ask about pizza, but I'm not.
Okay.
It goes deeper.
Ooh.
Ketchup on a hot dog, yes or no?
Fuck no. No way. This is a controversial topic right here.
I know. That's
Yeah.
why we always ask.
No, I am definitely never ketchup on a hot dog type of guy. And
Okay.
people will say whatever they want. Oh, why not? This and that. Like, oh, it's it's a if you're from Chicago and
Hmm.
you're not stubborn about that, then are
Hmm.
you really from Chicago?
So it says is never gone away. It's never changed, even though you've
Oh,
lived in multiple places now.
absolutely not. I think like there are different types of hot dogs, so that's one thing. I am a
Right.
big fan of the hot dog. I would say it's my favorite sandwich.
Okay.
And they have out in Arizona, they do a Sonoran hot dog, which is like I don't eat pork, but I've had it once or twice,
Sure.
and it's like a wrapped hot dog, bacon wrapped hot dog, and it has like mayo and stuff on it.
Oh my
It's like
gosh.
for somebody in Chicago, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's not a hot dog, this and that." But I disagree. Like that's fine because you're having it the way they're preparing it.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I would not do ketchup on a hot dog. I don't think it's good.
I mean, and that's fair. Like uh, saying, "Well, that's not a hot dog." Well, that's not true. Like I agree. Like the hot dog is just the meat. That's a hot dog.
Right.
Um, you
A
know, you
Chicago style hot dog, like if I'm gonna go to Chicago and I'm gonna add my own ketchup, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
right. So, does anyone in like Phoenix or anything? Have you had any people be like, "Dude, that's what do you mean you don't put ketchup on a hot dog?" Is it like anywhere else, like kind of like
I mean,
questioning you?
no, I mean it is a thing of people are always like, "What do you put on a hot dog?" Or like, if I my go-to, if I just want something simple, not the whole Chicago shebang,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do a hot dog with raw onion, celery salt, and mustard. That's it.
that sounds good though, man. I like that.
It's just,
I'm from Minnesota. We catch up a lot of things,
oh,
so
you do.
I'm okay with ketchup on a hot dog, but I can also but that doesn't mean it's my preferred.
See, the thing is, you're not gonna offend me by putting ketchup on a hot dog. There's some people from Chicago that
They'll
I know.
fight you.
They'll fight you on that. That
In Chicago, you gotta be careful. I've heard stories of people like coming up if you put ketchup on a hot dog and they're just gonna slap it out of your hand. I that
if
is
it's like the kids, then it is one thing, but
yeah.
yeah, an adult, I don't know. You gotta watch out. Chirac out there, you know.
My kid like won't put ketchup on anything. Like
Hey, straight.
but he's crazy though. Like I I can't do this. I don't know anybody that can do this. He eats it like hot dogs, plain, nothing on it, just bun and dog.
That's it's got to be the right there. I don't know. Some hot dogs you can do that for sure,
Not
but
these hot dogs, man. These are just plain old cheap hot dogs.
yeah, no, I've definitely had my fair share of eating just plain cheap hot dogs for most of the week,
It's
and
just I just can't
I
handle
gotta
like
put something on it.
just dry, And the same thing with his like hamburgers or cheeseburgers, He just cheeseburger, nothing. Cheeseburger bun
Yep.
or bacon. He likes bacon too now,
Okay.
but no sauce of any kind.
See, I don't like to do usually. Okay, so let me walk you through how I eat a Chicago hot dog real
Let's
quick.
go.
I like to take off the pickle and eat it by itself, and then I'll
Okay.
take off the tomatoes and eat those by themselves with a little celery salt on them. Because if you eat it, I don't know, I don't like eating it all at once because then by the halfway through, your bun's all soaked because those things are kind of like juicy by
Sure.
themselves. So I eat those by themselves, and then I'm basically just left with the relish, the neon green relish,
Hmm.
the celery salt, onions, and mustard,
See, I love I think a Chicago dog is
and the
just
pepper
one of the best,
in it.
one of the best dogs you can have out there, except for the tomato. Like I don't like tomatoes. I like tomato based products, but not raw tomatoes. I just can't do it.
Not a fan.
So like I do my Chicago dogs sans tomatoes.
I usually opt out of the tomatoes on. I don't do tomatoes on like burgers and stuff like
Hmm.
that, but I'll get it. I like it with a little celery salt on it, so I'll eat them on the side.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. So with living so many different places now across the country, what place would you say has the best food in your opinion?
Okay, it depends on exactly what you're looking for. There's a couple places that come to mind though. Chicago does have fantastic food.
It does.
Culinary in the Midwest there is like none other in the Midwest. It's just because of the amount of people that live there.
Right.
Um, Minneapolis had great food. There's surprisingly, like a lot of people don't know this, there's a huge Asian community in
Yeah.
Chicago, Minneapolis. Lots of good Asian food. I'll shout out my buddy's restaurant in Shoreview, Minnesota, Red Ginger. The Tam
Nice.
family runs that. awesome place if you're ever in the cities. Definitely
Hmm.
check it out. Let them know that I sent you that way. Um, Matt's in South Minneapolis.
Yeah.
The
You prefer
originator,
Mats? You prefer Mats over the 5/8 club?
the originator of the Juicy Lucy.
That Mats or 5/8? Yeah, they both claim it.
Definitely Mats. I claim Mats cash only. Make sure you got that with you and be prepared to wait in line.
Boy, I think I've only
And
been to 5/8 to be honest.
oh, definitely check out Mats when you. I
I
used to
will.
live like 10 minutes away when I
Oh,
lived.
nice.
Yeah. Um, Arizona has awesome Mexican food. You can't really beat it. Uh, I don't know, like even like up near Maine and like that part of like the country, like the
Yeah,
seafood is just so good.
it's true.
So it just depends on what you're looking for. Arizona has really good food too. A lot of stuff is shipped in because you're kind of landlocked
Yeah,
desert.
kind of.
Absolutely landlocked.
Like 100% kind of landlocked.
But I don't know. There's a lot of people that live out here, and you get a lot of that. Like the Mexican food is fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Living in Minnesota, like was definitely lacking on like good place to get some tacos, and like
Yeah.
out here, I eat them all the time because it's like, oh, I never had this.
Honestly, I know that there's gonna be more places, obviously, but my favorite little taco shop is Our Taco. Love me some Our Taco.
Some
Rusty
our
Taco.
taco. Damn, you gotta
Uh,
come visit me, brother.
well, I just like me some Our Taco, but yeah, I definitely like, you
Pretty
know,
good, pretty solid, consistent.
I'm saying just saying for Minnesota.
Oh yeah, for Minnesota, there was like one place that I really liked, and it ended up going out of business, and I know why because that's the demographic. They like different things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, there's obviously like it's been so long since I've been over like to the West Coast, that way,
Hmm.
to get like good like Hispanic food and stuff.
San
I
Diego has awesome food too.
Oh
Lots
yeah,
of fresh seafood and stuff like that.
it has been 10 plus years since I've been to San Diego.
Yeah, it's been a little bit for me too. Probably the last 5 years or so.
Yeah, definitely got to get back out there.
I've had great food in Mexico too. Like some of the best seafood I've ever had has just been when I visited Mexico.
I've only been to Mexico once, and I was 16, and I didn't know what to do. I was I was with my my mom and I and my brothers, and now we didn't go to like a resort area. We just crossed the border. It was like a border town, and um I didn't have authentic Mexican food. The most I had was like chichis. That was like the most authentic I ever had, and which is not authentic. And I was just like, I just want a taco. I don't know what else to have. I want a taco. Like,
Yeah.
does it taste like Taco John's or Taco Bell? I want a taco. And it
Forget about
doesn't.
Taco John's.
Dude, Taco John's so good. Some potato olays.
Ole.
Um, but yeah, it was like goat meat, and
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
uh, my 16-year-old palate was not ready for that yet.
I know you can get all that out here too. It's like they have it's not just like I feel like other places I've lived it's like okay, you can get steak, you can get like or carne asada, you could get like pollo, you could get like what's the other one? Carnitas or like al pastor. That's what I'm thinking of. It's
Yeah,
like you get like four or five options, and then
yeah,
places I go out here, it's like oh, I have to like I gotta Google what these things are real quick before I.
right. So I know it's like a really popular like option is like it's like cow tongue or something like that.
Yep.
But I
Yeah, they have that at a lot of places out here.
I don't remember what
I've had
that's
it.
like what it's called, but
I've had it. Sorry.
yeah. I've heard it's really good.
Good. Depends on how it's prepared. It's like anything, you know.
Right. Right. Um so with touring
Hmm.
and you know, going all over the place, what would you say are like your go-to what should I say? Like your snacks or like your beverages of choice like when you're on the road and you like between shows you got long drives, what's your stop, what are you gonna get at the gas station or whatever to keep you going on those long drives?
So in the past, I've definitely drank a lot of like those 5 hour energies and stuff, but
Ooh.
the last couple years, like that's when I had to do like long, like fucking, you play a show and have to drive 8 hours
Yeah,
after. And luckily, the last few times I've been on tour, I've not had to do it all myself as far as the driving. Um, I just like to keep it pretty simple. Like a lot of guys that I go out with, they like to stop at the coffee shops and try all these different coffees and stuff. But
sure.
I don't know. I don't like to stain my teeth, so I just stick to water and Celsius. And that's it.
Celsius is your go-to beverage, huh?
Celsius, I'm drinking one right now,
I saw
literally.
that.
That's pretty much all I drink. I don't, or in beer, of course.
Of course, beer.
Beer, but I don't know. I stay away from like drinking liquor and stuff. Just light beer and lots of water because you feel good. I did too many tours where I was just like not drinking enough water, and now it's just like get yourself a nice big bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't fill it up, like I don't know, I'll fill this up like 4 or 5 times before I get another one.
Sure. Smart.
But
kind
I'll,
of kind of snacks you picking up?
I definitely like to hit that roller grill late at night.
Okay.
There's something good on there, like a fucking cheese pepper jack
Oh,
chicken wing or something like that.
the pepper, like just the plain pepper jack cheese ones are way
Yeah.
too good. They
Oh
shouldn't be
yeah.
as good as they are.
Oh yeah. Those are solid. And then I mean I like to just get the hot dogs too, the all
Mhm.
beef hot dogs, but I don't usually get the buns, the stale ass buns they got in there.
You just bring your own buns?
I just no bun.
No bun.
Eat it with a fork. That's that late night like gas station pickup.
Dang.
Or I like to do I like to go to like a Costco or something and get like a pack of like here's like 30 things of little nuts or something like that. That's a tip for like people starting out. Don't buy shit at gas stations. But go buy shit at Costco. Like you spend like literally go spend $80 at Costco before a tour and you won't run out of snacks.
Yeah, but the problem is I agree. And like I always brought like we always brought food, but it's super hard because you're always stopping at a gas station,
Hey,
you
I don't
know.
know. I gotta gotta break the habit.
Oh, gotta break the
It's
habit. That's
expensive. You
it's
know,
soup.
like
It is.
yeah, it adds all that little shit adds up for sure. I rather like spend it on beer, to be honest.
Well, and you got that $5 a day per diem or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I've definitely done that too many times where like I'm eating cans of SpaghettiOs at a venue 6 times a week, you know.
Just to make sure you got that beer per diem.
That's right. Gotta get yourself a Miller Lite at the end of the night.
Got yourself a nice little meal. What about a hams? Good old hams?
Old hams. No, in Chicago we got old style.
You
That's
do,
like the
yeah.
cheap, cheap beer. Keystone.
Yeah. Keystone's an everywhere beer, isn't it? That's
Um,
like the
I haven't drank it in a while.
oh,
I'm a Mick Ultra guy.
okay. If I'm gonna drink just a plain like, you know, beer like that, I'm a hams guy. Get a 30 pack for $15.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like going through Wisconsin and picking up a 30 rack of like um what's that one? Like Miller High Life or something like that.
Yeah.
$15. I'm a big fan of parking lot beers.
Parking lot beers it's a good little pre-show, post-show.
Trailer beer, nothing wrong.
Yeah. It's it's good time to prep or whether you do it before or after, it's a good time to like prepare yourself, get a little loose or get a little looser after the show.
Yep, that's right.
All right. Got one more question, the food for thought segment, and that's well, normally we use the band, so we'll just go with the band here. So you can choose this. So if the band otherwise was a potato, what kind of potato would you be?
Mm. I heard this question on the thing earlier. I
It's a
was thinking about
staple.
it a little bit. Maybe let's go with a sweet potato.
A sweet potato because you're a bunch of sweeties.
Yeah. Ooh,
This is a bunch of little sweetie pies.
a couple sweetie pies. Yeah.
Hey, I like it.
Sweet potato pie.
All right. Well then let's redirect this now. If Sean Fitz,
Yes.
if you were a potato, would you still be a sweet potato? If just your solo music was a potato, what
Oh,
would you
my
be?
if the music was the potato or the band, like the guys.
Well, we did otherwise, so now I'm directing it just at you and your music.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a seasoned fry.
A seasoned fry?
Yeah.
Okay. Like for just a frozen seasoned fry?
Yeah. Like the one
Nice.
that comes in the red bag.
The seasoned fries are good. It's better like they whatever their seasoning mix is, it's good.
That's right.
Say it's a little garlic, a little onion powder,
Yeah, something like that.
maybe some chili powder, give
Something,
it
a couple of things you can't pronounce.
a little spicy, you know, leave you with some questionable odor in your mouth.
Yep.
I love it. All right. Well, now it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
You're just gonna speak from the heart, shoot from the hip. Whatever
Yes,
the
sir.
first, whatever the first thing is that comes to your mind, even if it's not one of the two options I present to you, you speak your truth.
Okay.
All right, one of these I know is going to be very easy. Two of these is going to be very easy for you. Okay, so the first one, it's Monster Energy or Rockstar.
Oh, Celsius.
There you go. I knew that one. All right. Pop punk or emo?
Emo.
Right. Now, based on an answer from earlier, I think I know this answer as well. Taylor Swift or John Mayer?
John Mayer.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. That's a good question.
Yeah. Are either you're a Swiftie or, as I like to call us, Taylords. I would say I'm a Taylord. Uh,
That's an
but
old beef right there. Taylor
yeah,
Swift. Yeah.
it is. Um, but I love John. I love both. Honestly, I think they're both so good. Skinny jeans or baggy pants?
Skinny jeans.
All right. Disney Plus or Netflix?
I don't have either, but probably I don't know.
What do you have? What is your most viewed?
Whatever is logged in on my TV. Somebody comes over, you want to watch something, you gotta have it.
Huh?
I watch sports.
Okay.
I gotta say Disney because they have ESPN
What
linked in with them.
if you have Hulu? If you have the bundle, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's like the same umbrella.
It is. Yeah, yeah. because that's the way I have it. So Hulu is under Disney, but you have to have the bundle, I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Netflix is good. There's like a couple of good shows on there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Cobra Kai,
Cobra Kai's pretty sick. I had to rewatch that.
Stranger Things.
Absolutely. That's coming to end pretty soon.
Yeah, Cobra Kai just came to an end. I haven't
Yeah,
finished it.
I haven't either. I haven't watched the new one because every time they would put out, they were doing like that. There's like 3 parts to the last season or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd have to rewatch the whole show because I forget by the
The whole
time.
show. That's an intense commitment. Um
Yeah. Oh, it's a
just like
lot.
go on YouTube and look up a recap, man.
I like to watch it as a whole when I watch.
Okay. I haven't finished the final part of the last season. It took me a little bit because the first start of the last season was really weird. And it was like, dude, where are you guys going with this? You got like weirdly supernatural with the old dude. Like
Okay. Yeah, I haven't even seen probably the last 2 seasons of it, but
oh, okay.
it's a
Well,
solid show. I did like that they made that show with following Johnny around.
yeah. So the last season, like the first part of it is a little fucking weird, all right? But if you like it and you let yourself get past it, it gets really good.
Okay.
But yeah, just know that the first part was a little iffy, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Uh all right. Stuffed crust or deep dish pizza?
Hmm. To be honest, I'm not a fan of either. I'm a thin pizza kind of guy, even
There
from
you go.
Chicago.
What, you don't like that touristy Giordano's or anything like that?
Oh, even when I go to Giordano's, like I do what's it called? I do thin crust pizza.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I like a deep dish pizza like once every few years, but deep dish pizza is for tourists.
Well, depending on what, like the Chicago style deep dish pizza, because I mean that's deep dish pizza isn't just like the Chicago's. The Chicago is like its own fucking thing.
Yeah, totally. That's what I'm thinking of when you say deep dish
That's
pizza.
like a lasagna,
Yeah, exactly.
which I love a good like Chicago style deep dish
Totally.
pizza, but
It's just too
only
much bread.
yeah,
Like I
it's
like
very bready.
I like it real thin. That's the type of pizza I like.
I also really enjoy like a thin crust pizza, but I feel the problem I have with it is I feel like no matter how much I eat of it, I never get full. I feel like I can eat a thin crust pizza for days.
Yeah, I don't know. I dig it.
It's good though. It's good. All right, we got two more questions in this. Uh Vans or Chuck Taylors?
Hmm. I don't really wear either.
I don't wear shoes.
Oh, I would have to say Vans probably if I had to pick one of those.
What's your go-to shoes? What do you go with?
My go-to like skater shoes are the Nike Noisia SBs.
Nice.
I like those, the Nyjah ones or whatever. That skater dude.
Okay. I haven't seen him. I got my first pair of Air Jordans
Okay.
last year and I was really excited about that.
Yeah, I've been wearing like the Nikes. They just fit my feet better.
It's a good fit. They're
Yeah.
comfortable.
I work with this brand Rival. They do like shoes and stuff like that too.
It's sick. I like it.
Couple cool like leisure athletic shoes.
Nice. I'll
Learn
have
a
to
lot.
check them out.
Yeah, they're cool.
All right. Last question is the All-American Rejects or the Offspring?
Probably All American Rejects.
Nice. Both you can't go wrong with either answer.
Yeah, I
Both are
saw the
good.
Offspring last year too, and they were put on a fantastic show.
Yeah.
Probably
Uh,
listen to All American Rejects more than them.
I actually just saw the All-American Rejects last year, and they
Nice.
also put on a great show.
Yeah.
Both
I
are
don't know if I've ever seen All American Rejects, and now that I'm thinking about it.
they're
That
really
one.
good.
Yeah,
I recommend.
absolutely.
I mostly went, funny enough, not to see the All-American Rejects, but because the opener was the Get Up Kids, and they were like on my bucket list. The Get Up Kids were like one of my favorite bands when I was growing up.
Yeah. Nice.
So I was really excited to get to see that. And I did. It was awesome. Got myself a Get Up Kids sweatshirt.
Hell yeah.
Well, Sean, that's it. You did it. You finished the podcast. Now,
You did it.
all that's left, now's your chance to let everybody know, get a little recap, what you got going on, where they can find you, and what's next.
Yeah, I'm Sean Fitz. You could find my music on all the streaming platforms, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all those things. I play bass for the band. Otherwise, we have a new single coming out March 8th. I have a single coming out March 7th. So whenever you're hearing this, it's probably going to already be out. You could find it at the link below. I'm sure he'll throw the link on there.
I sure will.
And yeah, I appreciate anybody listening to this. If you hadn't heard too much from me in the past, welcome. And there's a lot more coming in the future.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, if you're still here and you haven't already left to go check out Sean's music, you can stop now and you can go do that. I'm just going to say goodbye at this point. So, but make sure to go check it out because you're going to love it. I promise. And check out otherwise, why not go back and check out all the other bands too? All the other ones that we named. Check them all out. And you can report back to Sean about how much you loved all of it. And with that, this has been another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. We'll see you all on Monday.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.